Welcome, my friends, to our PMP exam prep study for today. This is task 2 in the process domain. And today we're talking about what the project manager does 70 to 90% of the time. Let's dive into the question from Managed Communications. During project execution, the project manager receives feedback from multiple key stakeholders that they are receiving conflicting information about project progress from different team members, leading to confusion and distrust. What is the project manager's most effective action to manage communications and restore stakeholder confidence? A. Instruct all team members to cease direct communication with stakeholders, centralizing all project updates through the project manager's office. B. Implement a standardized reporting template and schedule and conduct a session with the team to clarify roles, responsibilities, and approve channels for stakeholder communication, emphasizing consistency. C. Reduce the frequency of project communications to minimize the chances of conflicting information being disseminated to stakeholders. Or is it D, identify the specific team members providing conflicting information and provide them with individual coaching on communication protocols and accuracy? I'll give you some time to think about the answer. All right, time is up. So let's take a look at the options again. Option A, instructing all team members to cease direct communication, is done on some projects in the real world, but it's rather draconian. It's also counterproductive. So that would not be the best option. Option B, clarifying roles and responsibilities and approved channels, sounds like a good way of solving this problem. Let's go to option C. Reducing the frequency of project communications. This is not the problem. The problem is not the frequency. The problem is the content. Conflicting information from different team members, right? If the information was aligned, that wouldn't be a problem. And D, identifying the specific team members. That's like calling people out and penalizing people, and it's not the best way to proceed in a team environment. So the best answer, my friends, is B. When conflicting information causes confusion and distrust, project managers' effective action in this case is to standardize reporting and clarify communication protocols. It empowers the team to communicate consistently while ensuring stakeholders receive accurate, unified information, restoring confidence without overly centralizing communication. So all these other options, though they sound plausible, they're either not going to solve the problem or they're going to come across as being draconian and could lead to a decrease in team morale. So let's talk about communications in general. So, in general, when you are tackling the topic of communications, it is important to ask the question, what are the core processes in it? You have planned communications management, managed communications, which is the actual communicating, and monitor communications. In this question, it says this is during execution. So you are getting feedback as the communication is underway. And when you're receiving feedback, that's what you're going to put into the pipeline. It's like monitoring and controlling. It's in monitoring and controlling really that we get the feedback. So there's obviously overlap. The project is underway. We're getting feedback from clients. That's monitor communication. And now the project manager's job is to do a good analysis, find out the problem, and do corrective action. This is going to be a regular theme on your exam. You will have a communications issue, and you as the project manager, you have to solve it. Solving the problem needs to be done in a respectful and non-draconian way. You also need to be aware of push, pull, and interactive communication approaches. Be aware of various documents and reports that are used to communicate. Also see the various project artifacts as vehicles for communicating. We talk about risk registers, issue logs, and schedules. Still talking about this exam. You could possibly have questions of a communications nature from the world of Agile. That is not uncommon. So be ready to face questions from both predictive and Agile about communications. Again, communication should be transparent, it should be honest, it should be open, and it should serve as a unifier, not a divider, and a motivator of the team. One more thing regarding communication, just be aware that the more people you add to a communication scenario, the more the number of channels, which could be problematic if it's not effectively managed. Okay? Thank you for joining me today. Remember, the goal is to get into the mindset of the managed communications process. You first need to craft a solid plan. In this case, it seemed like the plan was lacking. The standardized reporting template, even if it was available, was not being used. Scheduling the communications and approving channels. We're not saying cut off communications between team members and stakeholders, but we're saying it should be streamlined. If it's not streamlined, it needs to be engineered and adjusted accordingly to be consistent and clear. All right. Thank you very much. Smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.